We want to simplify the given trig expression. Looking inside the brackets, notice how it might not be obvious what's going to simplify, so one technique to simplify a trig expression would be to convert to sines and cosines. So because tangent x equals sine x divided by cosine x, and secant x equals 1 divided by cosine x, we'll substitute sine x divided by cosine x for tangent x, and we'll substitute 1 divided by cosine x for secant x here and here. So performing the substitution, we would have 7, and then in brackets we have 2 times, again, tan x is equal to sine x divided by cosine x, and secant x equals 1 divided by cosine x. And then we have times 2 sine x plus 4 times cosine x divided by secant x, which is 1 divided by cosine x. So things actually look worse now because we have a complex fraction here and here, but because a fraction bar means division, instead of dividing by the fraction on the bottom, we'll write it as a multiplication problem by multiplying by the reciprocal of the bottom fraction. So we'd have 7 times 2 times the top fraction of sine x divided by cosine x. Again, instead of dividing by 1 over cosine x, we'll multiply by cosine x over 1. And then we still have times 2 sine x plus 4 times, again, instead of cosine x divided by 1 over cosine x, we'll write this as cosine x times the reciprocal of 1 over cosine x, which would be cosine x, or if we want cosine x over 1. So these are both over 1. Notice in this form here, cosine x divided by cosine x simplifies to 1. So for our next step, we have 7 times 2, this is now just sine x, times 2 sine x, plus here we just have 4 cosine squared x. Looking at this product here, notice how we have 2 times 2 is 4, so we have 4 sine squared x here. So we have 7 times 4 sine squared x plus 4 cosine squared x. Notice inside the parentheses we have a common factor of 4, so let's factor that out. Since we already have a factor of 7 here, this is going to be 28 times sine squared x plus cosine squared x. We should recognize the Pythagorean identity, sine squared x plus cosine squared x equals 1. So this simplifies nicely to 28 times 1, or just 28. So the given trig expression simplifies to 28. I hope you found this helpful.